Welcome back, guys, to another Digital Cheesecake podcast with myself, Ellie, and Sarah. So it's been a few weeks since we recorded all together, but January is slam packed for all of us at the moment. Super busy.
Yeah.
And we've got a topic which is very dear to our hearts and a lot of people that we're talking to at the moment, which is when you're setting up a business, are you going to bootstrap or are you going to get investment? So what do you reckon, guys?
Well, your business was, what did you do when you started?
So, many moons ago in a land far away, which was 2010, I started by how old was I? 23, 20,
Pretty young.
23 years of age, to a guy with very little money. And I basically bootstrapped. So I had about a month or two in the bank. So I had to perform pretty much straight away. But most people who do bootstrap have 6 months worth of money in the bank before they actually make that leap.
I don't even know people who have got 6 months these days. But yeah, you're probably right. That's definitely the right approach. It's like 6 months. Depends, right, if people have got families, which is even harder when people have got kids and they decide to start, obviously, and they've gone out on their own thing. What do you think? You even need a year of that? I mean, I see a lot of people have just gone out on their own for probably saving for a year and decided that they might not do like that big, I don't know, AI masterclass or MBA or something, and use that money instead. Like I was saving for an MBA and then instead I was like, oh, stuff it. I'm just going to go start my own thing.
You mentioned about the MBA. What were you going to do the MBA in AI?
No, I was just like, you just do an MBA, which is like you then go into, and it's just like the classic MBA style. It's all about essentially like your growth and business and all that jazz. But some people can do like a mini MBA in AI, like at Oxford University, but they cost about $100,000 or like 150,000. So it's pretty much covers you for a year if, you know. It is crazy funding or more.
Yeah, but where do people literally just spend all of that money? I know that we're digressing a little bit here, but why
how much is
would
MBA?
it make
12 grand?
No, 100 grand.
150.
Like,
why would that mean more? Why would that be more valuable than thinking, oh, okay, I'll use that money for investing or maybe doing like a side project first, and then potentially it could be, my sole revenue. Like, what's the difference?
Depends on the route you want to go down, because a lot of people I know have like done it to change careers. So like they came from like JP Morgan and then wanted to get into Google and do like, if you want to get into big companies, it's like, and a good way of shifting. It's kind of the way you can do it. And then you're set up guaranteed for life of like your salary. You can go into these big companies. So it's one, if you want to change career. For me, I was doing it because I knew in certain companies, I wasn't being taken seriously as a CMO without having that MBA. And then it also opened up opportunities for like connections and people I would meet. And so it's really like, it's annoying because it's like a foot in the door thing. You know, if I want to get into fashion and people aren't hiring me because I don't have fashion experience, it's kind of a way to go around it with all those areas. You get all the brands. The experience is like incredible, but it's the connections that people go for, but it's expensive connections, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think Jack's right. I think a lot of people, I don't even know if people are saving for a year anymore, because I think a lot of people just don't have that time. So yeah, 6 months is about the average, but I do agree with Ellie that I think a lot of people are reducing that even further to maybe 3 months in the bank and then just going for it. But it depends what your motivation is as well, because Jack, I think you were just like, right, I just need to go.
I think the biggest thing is I just didn't want to get managed.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably the worst person to manage. Big opinions on everything.
Driven. It's not like there's a lot of people out there that are like not driven and don't want to be managed and just don't work.
I wasn't being awkward for the sake of it, but I was
frustrated.
Frustrated and working hard.
A lot of people start things being frustrated as well, don't they?
Yeah, but I think it comes out of like, I don't know, like you're talented, like you were talented, then you also were like, this boss isn't challenging me, so it's making you frustrated. Like I had bosses that didn't challenge me, but then when you have a really good one, you're like, you want to work with them, but they're not that easy to come by, right? So
yes, agreed.
Yeah. I
think you're right. It's the challenge. Like people just want to be challenged. And it's that age old saying, right? Some people, it's not that they're not good or maybe not driven. It's just that's not the right environment for them. So if you feel like I
You
feel like
exhaust your money.
investment almost still needs a bit of a proof of concept as well. So you can't just literally jump ship and start something and then already have the investment in there, unless it's like your mates or,
Yeah.
family members or something like that who doesn't need that proof of concept. But I think if anyone still wants to go down the investment route, surely you would still have to start by bootstrapping and
Yeah.
then develop into the
I
investment
think
piece.
you kind of should bootstrap to test out your
Yeah,
idea. Like some
exactly.
people
Exactly.
e-commerce business, put 5 grand into it, test it. If you're really strapped on 5 grand and that's your only savings, don't do it. Like build up,
Yeah.
like pay off your debt, pay off all these things you need. And then when you feel comfortable, maybe you got 15 grand in the bank, then spend 5 grand of it on testing a product you want to do.
Yeah.
And the product then works really well. Like it's kind of like when people say invest something and you're going to lose that money, right? Like
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like it's almost like gambling. Like basically, if you're going to invest that money, just don't expect to see it.
don't expect to
And
see
if,
anything come back from it. Yeah.
yeah, and if you do, then it's a win basically.
Yeah.
How long do you think people should give before getting investment, or what is that cutoff point that people need to think?
I
Oh,
don't know.
actually,
Jack and I have spoken about this, like, because we're like, should I get investment? And there's this whole thing, but I mean, now I would never do it because, yeah, if you end up with cash flow of, and then you don't need it. But I mean, you
I think in
could.
our industries, because it's services, isn't it? You don't really need to do the investment piece
I mean, if
unless
you want
there's
to
a
help you
value
with staff,
exchange.
maybe if you want to get more staff and like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. If there's a value exchange, unless you want to just literally hire 50 people within the space of 12 months, or you want to get into key accounts. But I
Yeah.
think in terms of the stuff that we do, I would just say bootstrap and just make money for as long as you
but
can.
if it's product based, like these people we've
Get
been
investments.
yeah,
Because you'll need
think
money
those-
for a warehouse, you'll need money for products, you need product,
yeah,
money
you're
for
totally
everything.
right. Like the people we've spoken to getting on Ocado and everything, the
Yeah.
hardest part, like my sister actually started her own, like it's a product for mums, not for mums, but babies, like the biscuits for the teething problems.
Oh, they are so good. Have you
love
tried
rusks.
But
rusks?
they
Are
got rid of them
so
in
good.
Australia. They got rid of them in Australia. So like this
Right.
whole
I bet they're
uproar.
bad for people now, aren't they? Did they discover
Yeah,
something
but
like
these are
that?
for babies. These are for like the ones where
Yeah.
they're teething, right? So those ones.
Okay.
And so mums love them because it's like this period where they can't, but like they need stuff for teething. Anyway,
Yeah.
Australia got rid of it. It's like this whole uproar because mums are like, what biscuits? Anyway, she started to go down the route, but she went down this route of like getting a government grant, because they support, like there was a huge, so like there was a big amount of
That's a good
funding for
idea.
that. You get all the support you need. Then there's bootstrapping from herself, but like potentially quitting her own job. So there's like that whole mix. But then she's got to look at manufacturers, designers, like nutritionists, all of that. So the grant route is good first. If you can I reckon just trying to focus on the grants like first. If you're just working, like she got it when she was working in a full-time job, and then rather than getting the investment first, like people just, it won't be that easy to get an investment, I think, when you haven't like tested the whole product, whereas grants are quite a good thing. So I think she'll then need investment, but she'll need like a proof of concept and the pipeline and like the return. And then like you can get companies investing in you, but it's not easy to get investment, obviously. It's until
Did you
you've shown
guys
proof
ever
of
think
concept.
about getting a grant or like going down that route? Was that ever an option, or it seems like it's such a faff sometimes as well?
Seems like a faff. I would say if I had a dedicated person on it, but then you end up dedicating people to go on BD. And so so I'd say it is important to go down the grant route, but like there's also like we applied for an AI grant and then they were like, great, you're in the next round. But then there was like 15,000 steps and we would have to actually put an entire team on it to get the grant, then actually
It's hard.
focusing on all the clients. So we were like, you just have to deprioritize it. I think you can get smaller grants and there's a process for it through government and local, what is it? Government. Like you could go to like Brighton government and they'll be a lot easier than getting your huge UK government grants. There's people like that you can pay a few grand a month to help you do it.
It's even really hard to get bank loans at the moment as a new business. So anyone who wants to get a substantial bank loan in the UK, it's just really hard to get, isn't it? But I think a lot of
people
people
reaching out, but I never really want to do it. I'm like, I don't want to get a loan.
I don't want to get a loan. I never got a loan. Yeah, it was
Same.
just. But I think if you can go as far as possible without actually having to borrow money, I think that's definitely the best route. But if you want to, like we're working with a £100 million turnover beauty business, it's their 4th year. fourth year of trading, and in their second year they got 40 million pounds worth of investment. But that's just literally product internationalization and warehousing. It's not
Yeah, they
even
got
for
a
it's not
whole
even for headcount.
yeah. Like
Exactly.
it's not like we're saying not to have investment, not to get investment, but it like shouldn't be I'd say the first priority. Get a proof of
Exactly.
concept, get it working, go for
Yeah.
grants if you can.
And then go for it.
Yeah, and try and get that pipeline going. But I get on food products and like F&B, it's tough.
The people that we've interviewed so far, which ones had investment? I can't actually remember from the top
There
of
was
my
a
head.
few that have had like
Was there?
VC backing. Like a lot of them have
Yeah.
gone now for VC backing, I would say. But it's like then it causes another level of stress, right? Like a lot of people
Yeah.
try and avoid it.
Mm.
I think most people, like even Dirty and stuff, they've avoided like investment.
I remember them saying,
Yeah.
so they've done it themselves.
Because
Look
you
at
then lose
Brewdog this
control,
week.
right? Like that's the thing.
Oh
Brewdog
yeah,
got
Brewdog
loads
is
of investment, and now they're the credit. Well, the private equity business or the business are trying to cut it up and sell it this week, aren't they? So
well,
I mean, this is the thing.
recruiters don't really like Brewdog, so
yeah, that's true.
let's X them.
Oh,
Let's X that. But what I was going to say is that it also depends on your priority, because I think investment could be that option if you think, you know what, I want to exit this business in 5 years. I want to make as much as I can, grow as much as I can. I want to exit in 5 to 10 years. So that's probably another entry to investment and almost like a trigger for investment as well. But I think a lot of people will stick with bootstrapping if they're actually like, do you know what, this is me, for life.
I feel like if I got an
basically.
investment now, they'd want to take the business a certain route, and it might not be what you want. And then
Yeah,
you're at this like
exactly.
full timeline limit, and like, yeah, I guess.
It depends how much you want to take home yourself each month, because I know an agency, a search agency founder, where he just pumped all of his money back in and I think he also got investment just to get it to like 200 headcounts. But
Yeah.
I don't, to get it to 200 within 5 or 6 years, he's not going to be taking out much himself every year. So you have to be patient, but it depends what sort of route you want to go down.
I feel like one of you guys has got an echo. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who it is. Can someone hear it? If it's me, then it's yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we fixed it. Yeah. So yes, I get your point. I don't know. You needs to align to like the priorities, I think. Yeah. But I'm sure people will be like, how do I get investment these days? And that would be another episode.
Yeah, because
TBC.
that would be a long list, I would say, because it's harder and harder now to get investment because there's just so many, new businesses coming out there as well, which is great. Like, that's exactly what we want to see. I think especially the government, obviously there's a massive responsibility there that they need to actually encourage entrepreneurs and people who want to start businesses. And unfortunately, it's not really doing that at the moment. But again, that's another topic for maybe not on camera. But I think, the more people who want to start a business, the better. Just start, and then the rest will kind of happen.
Yeah, I don't think government should put their nose too much into business. I think they just need to create the environment to encourage business. So lower corporation tax, lower NI, so it makes it cheaper to recruit, those sort of mechanisms,
I think
and
that's freelance
apprenticeships.
world is so big because people are like picking up people fractionally in new businesses, It's the same for the stuff we do at the moment. Like I'm finding mainly new fractional people, but like I would like to have a full timer, but it's just so expensive sometimes with the cost of having them, as a new business. So which is why freelancers, people have started kind of going down that route.
And it's hard for young people as well, because we're in a kind of young people hiring crises at the moment, where because the cost is rising so much, businesses just want to, obviously they're going to go for more experience, because if they're sort of thinking, well, there's actually not much in it in terms of cost to the business, they're going to go for more experience. So I think, if there's a situation as well where you can encourage more young people into jobs and roles, 100% look down that route as well, because it's super important.
Yeah, I think the cost of hiring 3 entry-level people is in between 75 and 100 grand at the moment. I remember my first job out of uni,
Crazy.
I got like 15 grand.
That's what I mean. I think but it's not setting up for success. Like I've got lots of situations and it's not set up for success. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the day. We can obviously wrap it up. Thanks for anything else you guys want to cover.
I think that's everything. If you want to hear more of our thoughts in a follow-up, let us know.
See you later, guys.